Everybody, the regular town board meeting for Monday, June 22nd. I'd ask everybody to please turn off their cell phones and electronic devices, and assisted listening devices are available for the hearing impaired. I'll ask everybody to please rise for the pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Also ask for a moment of silent reflection and keeping thoughts and prayers the wife of our former town attorney Mike Dowd, his wife Missy Dowd passed away this past week. Thank you very much. Agenda?
Yeah, speak up a little bit louder.
Okay, sorry. Agenda approval. I have one thing to add under actually Councilman Bax. I have a letter of resignation from Gonzalez, so I'll add that to Councilman Bax's liaison report. We also have a recusal for FOIL under legal, and then we also have hiring an attorney for the conflict on that FOIL, and that'll be under legal. Does anybody have anything else?
Move for approval as amended. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Resident statements. I didn't get the sheet. Does anybody like to start the meeting by saying anything? Okay. Department head statements. We will start with Chief Previtt.
Just so the board's aware, we did participate with the schools, and the supervisor was out for the senior picnic that we modified. I think that went very well. It was a lot of positive feedback. We also participated in the Niagara Wheatfield graduation, and we have the Blue Fort graduation coming up on the 26th as well. And art.
Good. And half the village and town are out of power, right?
Correct.
We were out of it, and it just came on right before I got back here, so.
Yeah, we've got traffic light problems all over right now.
Donna, anything?
Yeah. I distributed in your packet a letter requesting that a deposit be sent to Meridian Rugs. The town received a grant under the 2019-2020 cycle of the Justice Court Assistance Program, and we received that back in November. And it was for $8,250. And then in November of 2019, I encumbered an additional $3,675 to cover the cost of doing the carpet in the main meeting room, courtroom here, and the front hallway. We have received the grant money, and due to the sorry.
Cool.
Okay. And I'm asking that a deposit be given to Meridian so they can purchase the carpet tiles to do the work. I mean, this all started last year, and then it just kind of fell off.
Have we already approved it in totality, and you're just looking for the deposit?
Yeah, they're asking. Normally they wouldn't do that, but they need to be able to purchase the carpet tiles to be able to do the work. So they're asking that the money be.
So Tom, should we approve the whole job for $11,925 with $7,000 going towards a deposit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make that motion.
A second.
Motion second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
We've already received the grant funding in February.
Okay. So we don't need to break down the $7,000. It's all part of the motion. Okay. Thank you, Don. Anything else? Let's see, everybody's kind of moved, so I'm gonna check here on the agenda. Dave, train anything?
Yes, you want me to wait?
No, jump in.
Okay, I have three things. I'd like the board to approve me getting rid of Phil and,
Who's Phil?
What are you doing?
road Phil. Phil at the yard, different, stuff, and when I do road cuts, and I'd like to be able to get rid of it. And, instead of just bringing it back to my yard, if I can find residents or something to take it, it'll save me some time and money.
And you did this last year too,
Yes.
right? Yeah. And Tom, you
So it has no value, right?
No, same
You
thing
just-
with Melly.
You need to just declare it as surplus and no value and direct, the supervisor to.
The only thing is, I wanna make the board aware that I won't go outside the area to deliver it, but if I can deliver it and drop it off without bringing it to my yard, which includes the millings and the road cuts, even when I do ditching, the dirt along the ditching, if I can leave it there or get rid of it, I wanna do that instead of bringing it back to my yard. Okay, it's all surplus,
Yeah,
there's no
surplus, no
cost,
value.
there's no value to it, it's like the millings, there's no value, it's cheaper than stone because I get it free.
You put public notice to open?
No, I'll find people along the way, they'll stop and see me milling, they'll ask, or if they see me ditching, people will stop by and ask. And I have a list of people that call all the time.
Make a motion to declare the millings and
So what's fill and
the
road
fill
cuts.
as surplus with no value.
And direct,
And authorize the highway department to dispose of it as he sees fit.
Second.
A motion and a second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
The next thing is I had a hold harmless agreement for the contractors that bring in brush and, wood chips to my yard. It just relieves the town of any responsibility. I had the lawyer look it over, he's agreed that it's a good idea to have it done. And we're gonna have them start signing the paperwork, where the job was, address and contact name and number, just to limit the people bringing in all the brush from outside Lewiston.
Dave's caught several people from outside the town there in the brush and track.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Now that it costs us money to dispose of the brush,
Yes.
it's a good plan. Move for approval as presented. Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, and then my last one is I'd like to move money from my snow and ice, my 0400 account to my equipment line. And I'd like to purchase, approval to purchase. I put out requests for bids, and I received 2 bids back. One was for $14,995, and one was for $16,187. They were for Everest plows, which is what's standardized on my trucks. This is a reversible plow. I'm gonna replace a one-way plow. With all the cul-de-sacs and everything, my one-way plow just can't get around. I can't move, I always have to send a truck after they plow to go clean up. So, once the money's moved, I'd like to have permission to approve this. I need 3 written estimates, but I haven't been able to get any other than the 2. And the other ones that came in was a Viking plow, which we don't have. Our truck's not set up for it.
Okay, Tom, is this what you guys were talking about?
Yeah, so normally with that value of purchase, just under $15,000, you would require 3 written, proposals. Since he can only get 2, you just need justification for, as Mr. Train has explained, why he was unable to receive any more. Sometimes you encounter a scenario where there's just not enough suppliers for that around, so he's, can state that he's done his due diligence to search for that, and has been unable to find any other providers. That's correct, Mr. Train?
Correct.
And then, the other component is also, as Mr. Train mentioned, that it's a standardized piece of equipment to that truck, so he's really looking for that in addition. So, on all of those reasons, you can make the move to approve that purchase.
So you want a motion to transfer money?
That's the first one. I spoke with Jackie, we agreed that the money's there, it's in my snow and ice account.
You gotta give
Transfer
out
it
to
the
Donna?
It would,
Jackie's got
it would be coming from the snow removal contract, DBO 5142040000, $14,995, and moving it into his machinery contractual, which is DBO 513002000000.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then we need.
Motion to buy the equipment.
Yeah. So
Who was the lowest
It'll be
bidder?
Valley Fab and equipment.
And what was the amount?
$14,995.
Make a motion to approve the lowest bidder, receive bids for Valley Fabrication for $14,000 and
$995.
$995.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
One question, are they local?
Valley Fab is in Boston, New York.
Thank
The
you.
other company is in East Syracuse, New York.
Thanks.
Jeff Ritter, anything?
I'm on the agenda.
Dan?
Nothing.
Nothing? I have a letter here from Mike Dashnow. Members of the town board, on Wednesday, June 10th, the town experienced a freak wind event that damaged many trees, leaving this list of trees as an immediate danger to the neighboring property. While I've not yet received quotes to remove these trees, please allow the supervisory contract power to remove the trees in question at the earliest possible time. It's 645, 667, and 663 Raymond Drive, 5 to 6 ash trees, which are now a danger to the property. 4784 Lauren Court, a damaged and broken limb is currently hung and resting on healthy limbs and over a neighboring structure. 764 Michelle Court, 2 damaged trees are in danger of splitting into neighboring property. And 4812 East Eddy Drive, resident is 2 40-foot oak trees to the south and 1 35-foot maple tree to the west with damaged roots and trunk structures, as well as about 25 feet of existing trunk on the ground that the Parks Department does not have the means to move. I talked to Mike earlier, and he hasn't gotten any quotes from any of the companies he put out. He's looking for permission to have the companies hired for that and get it taken care of. The one I did not know about, the broken limb. Any chance, Dave, I can meet with you tomorrow and we'll go look at a broken limb hanging down, because we don't want
Sure.
that. We don't want one hanging down.
Yeah, no, we can take care of it.
Okay, so we can look at that would be 4784 Lauren Court. So until we get any bids though, Tom, there's not much we can do, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
But we can declare it an emergency and proceed immediately. We won't have to wait till the July board meeting, correct?
You could do that if it's an emergency.
Well, they are. I went and looked at several of the trees, and one fell down and the other just is leaning the other way.
Okay.
So, and that's in the access off of Eddy Drive, so it's not like it's way back in the middle and it's gonna fall, just fall, it could possibly go down. So-
Yeah, if that's the case, then I would say you should entertain a motion to declare this as an emergency situation and it can allow you to, again, overstep some of the
Okay.
procurement guidelines.
So we can do that without having a vendor?
You could do that now without having a vendor if you
I'll
need
make
to,
a
yeah.
motion that we declare this an emergency situation, and let Mike Dash and I go forth and find someone to do the work.
Okay, second, Matt seconded. All in favor?
I have a question, I didn't say it here, but it is in the forever green area.
This is the green, it's all on town property. Yep, it's all on town property. So, we have a motion, a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. Who am I missing? Oh, Bill Conrad, Deputy Supervisor.
Just one thing, I just wanted to thank the highway superintendent, Mr. David Train. On Friday, got a call from a resident on Ridge Road who had, a deer who had been hit and was just lying dead in the road. He had trouble trying to get rid of it, trying to contact the right person. Mr. Train helped me get in contact with who we needed to, and that was taken care of rather quickly. So the fellow called me back and thanked me on behalf of the town for taking care of it, because it was a little bit.
Bill,
It was union issues, it was a holiday, and the DLT didn't want us going out picking it up, because they wanted to be called in.
solar.
Yes.
We haven't done anything in quite a while. One possibility is that you touch base with Tim, working out your schedule, and then letting some of us others know, and then we can start moving ahead with this.
Sure, I think at this point, Bill, you can.
He's back in the corner, way in the back.
He's 12 feet from you.
Okay, I think he and I can work it out so we can coordinate something.
Well, your schedule is the tightest one.
Yeah, well, we'll work it out and then go
cool. I think he's
If it's
doing
raining,
that.
I'm available.
Thanks. Tim Masters?
I sent you all an email today, the park, 2 roofs are done, all cleaned up, so if you want to take a look at them, I thought that he did a good job. So the invoices are in the process. But he did, when I met with him for a final, he said, just so you know, you need to put these on a routine maintenance. He goes, so we don't run into this again. The posts need painted, the wood needs waterproof treatment, and we just need to get it done periodically, and the things would last a whole lot longer.
Did you send that on to Dashnell?
I did not know.
Yeah, I can forward that over. But no, they definitely, I went and checked on it. So hopefully someday, again, we can use them.
Exactly, yeah.
So, okay.
I think that's it. I think that's everybody.
Okay. So also the recreation director, wants to do a seasonal hire. This is a gentleman we hire back every year for grass cutting, Tom Kennedy. And Jackie, he's coming back at the same rate as last year. $12.50. Okay. Oh, is it in here? I didn't see it.
It's on the second.
What?
That's on the second email.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. So, can I get a motion to hire the Tom Kennedy at $12.50 an hour for summer recreation?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I would assume starting date is post haste.
Yes. Yeah. American trees. The carpet. Approval of meeting minutes for May 28th, regular town board meeting.
Move for approval of the regular town board meeting, May 28th, 2020. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Audit payment. Mr. Cole.
I move to approve the regular abstract of claims number 1183 to 1283 for 2020. To recommend payment in the amount of $76,191.91 plus a post audit of $0. And I move to approve the regular abstract of claims number 1284 to 1497. To recommend payment in the amount of $272,172.18 plus a post audit of $14,883.63.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved. New business, not any residents, public correspondence?
No.
No. Okay. Supervisor Broderick's liaison report, we have a resignation. To whom it may concern, I, Gregory Shuey, resign from my position as a court officer with the town of Lewiston Court effective April 15th, 2020. Mr. Shuey's been with us for a long time. He was a long time employee of the town. He originally retired a few years ago, came back and wanted to do it for a few more years, and now he's just decided he wants to call it quits. So,
Move to accept the resignation with regret.
Second.
motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And then, Dominic Casaro Legacy Drive. So, Tom, do you wanna touch base on this, minor adjustment?
Yeah, we can do probably both of them if you want. I know the other one is also listed on the Councilman Back's report. But you guys have in front of you 2 different resolutions that I've drafted. Both of them are seeking a request from the town to make minor adjustments to the planned unit developments that have already been approved by the town. There's a provision within your town code that allows the town to approve a minor adjustment to the PUD plan if that minor adjustment is encountered during the development of the project and it is in fact minor. I believe Supervisor Broderick and all of the board members, as well as Mr. Masters, Pat Martin, Bob Lannon, Dave Train, and everyone else involved in both of these have had an opportunity to review what's been going on with the development of these two projects and also the layout for how each of these developers wishes to make a minor modification. They both made submissions before you in terms of written submissions. I believe at least Mr. Severino is here, and I suspect
Mr.
Massaro is here as well, in case the board members have any desire to ask questions of them. But essentially, there's a resolution that I presented to both of you that declares their requests to be minor modifications pursuant to Lewiston Town Code Section 360-124M, allows them to do those minor modifications.
And starting with Northridge Development, Tim Masters and Pat Martin, our fire inspector, have gone over several times, and I talked to Pat today with you, and you're both in agreement with what's been done?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Mr. Sarvis?
Yes, so this is Northridge on Legacy Drive.
Right.
So, yeah, for a motion to approve the resolution.
Move to approve the resolution as presented.
Second. With a motion, second, any questions?
So this was for
For Legacy Drive.
Legacy Drive.
Yeah, Northridge Development.
Do we need a roll call on this?
You don't need a roll call.
Any questions first?
I think it's pretty basic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just parking.
Yeah.
And they worked it out, so, yeah. So,
When I talked to Steve today, I was a little confused between different projects going on at that site. Legacy is different than Northridge, I want to make sure I was focusing on the right part.
we have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. And the resolution for patios at Essex Ridge. Basically the same thing. Right?
It's a very similar, it's, in terms of procedure, it's the exact same thing that I just described. I was really describing both of the developers seeking a request from the town for a minor modification to a PUD. The patios at Essex Ridge are seeking slightly different modifications, but again, it's a modification that has been encountered during the development. They're starting their phase 1 development. Again, they've had their engineers put documents in front of the town and all of the departments of the town that, as I understand it, have not been objected to. They've worked through everything with everybody, and it's a minor modification.
Those modifications are phase 1 originally should be 30 homes, it's moved to 35, and then a ditch that we required for phase 2 to be piped. They'll leave open until they get that done, and then they'll fill it in afterwards, so they don't damage it during construction. So I talked to Tim. Tim's looked at it. Bob Landon's looked at it. And everybody seems to be in agreement with design modifications. Yeah.
Just want to make one clarification that those other 5 homes are just taken from phase 2.
Correct.
They're not increasing density or anything on phase 1.
Right.
It's just basically a different outline of, you know.
The delineation between phase 1 and phase 2 has changed, that's all.
Right.
It's the same project.
Yes. Yes.
Move for approval as presented.
We have a motion, a second. Any questions?
I do have a question. I wasn't at the planning board meeting, but I was at the planning board work session, and we talked then about having a political bond that they will put the pipe in.
Right, we did not discuss it. It was taken off the agenda for the actual planning board, so we did not discuss it.
So it wasn't discussed.
In talking with Mr. Seaman and Bob Lannon, you're talking about what, $4,000 or $5,000 in pipe that they're going to put a $275,000, $300,000 haul road in.
Yeah.
That we feel comfortable with.
Well, that was the most important thing.
Right. So we didn't, at this time, we didn't deem it necessary, but Tom and I talked about possibly meeting with Mr. Severino if we wanted not a bond, but even a escrow.
Yeah.
Something like that to cover it. But I'm confident. Tim was confident in this decision with it going away, without it at this point.
Okay. And that was the first question. And the second question was, you haven't made any changes to any of the, where the road comes through off Bronson right now, you're gonna put that new road in? Have you made any changes to the plans as they were written when you bought this project?
No change.
It's gonna be the same? Are we happy with it? with next to your house.
What changes are you referring to?
Well, there haven't been any changes.
So the fence is still gonna go up?
Everything that was previously approved.
Yes, that's what my understanding.
We were told that, along the new road there would be a fence involved from I'm trying to think of which corner that would be of the lot, from the back of the yard, and then it would go to, I guess, all the way to Bronson. Once it passed our house, it would sweep down.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the only other thing that I do see in a change is, that lot is 75 feet wide.
I don't
That,
know.
lot number 9, well,
Okay.
okay, but, I mean, since we're on this subject, and it seems like the rest of them are 66 or 65 feet.
What lot number was it?
Lot 9. Lot number 9. But actually, this little cutout, you can see, you can almost see what you're reading. These were 65 or 60. This lot was increased to 75, and we were, I guess, verbally promised like a 10-foot, buffer cushion, but it looks to me like, I can show you a crude picture on my phone where that lot was increased, and then there was like a 10-foot, wooded area. In fact, it's not too much.
So that's the first lot, the last coming in off of Bronson, correct?
Correct. Bronson's right here. So, that would be.
You reside here.
Yeah.
Tim, are you aware of any changes?
Was there anything, was there a condition placed on the approval for that, or I wondered if it hit the plan?
Well, basically, however it was approved before, is what we're gonna approve tonight with those two modifications.
That's
So-
all we're asking for.
Yeah, so if there's a change from what we approved before, I don't believe, Tim, you're not aware of it?
That's the old one.
And Bob, are you aware of it?
No, if I recall, the conditions that the town board placed on the approval were two. One was the Hall Road.
Right.
Okay. The second was, I forgive you the exact words, but there was a traffic study to be done at the completion of each phase, I believe, was the other condition. And I don't know if there was a third.
Yeah.
But in terms of the layout of
Yes.
the subdivision and the number of homes, no, other than the two minor modifications that the board is considering now.
Okay, so as far as this minor adjustment, it will be approved as it was approved originally, except for 30 to 35 homes in phase 1, and the ditch remaining open until phase 2's done, and then he'll close the ditch.
But when you speak of the ditch, Mr. Broderick, I'm not sure.
It's not adjacent to your house at all. It's
Yeah,
right
it's
between.
back in phase 2, we don't wanna get it damaged during construction. It'll be a cut ditch to the, well, Rob, you could probably describe it. Yeah.
Sorry, not to.
No, that's okay, no.
If, to kind of give you an idea, Bronson's up here, the cut-in will be here, Village Green, I believe, is the road. Your house, well, see, there's, lot 19, so you're on lot 9. So the phase 1 will happen off of Bronson, as well as to a point here. And that'll encompass, now we're asking for 35 lots. The ditch, redirection that we're asking for simply is gonna carry the lawn areas in the rear yards of 14 of these houses. And the ditch will be cut along the back of the future phase 2, which is gonna be this area here.
So, just to make sure, phase 1, rear yard will be cut.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So just for phase 2 to get out to the pond.
Correct, correct, yep. So the ditch that your requests are
That would be,
down here.
between me and Upper Mountain, say more,
Yeah, between you and the pond,
East of you.
yeah, the pond.
The detention pond?
Yeah,
South-
detention
south-
pond.
southeast.
Okay.
Here's the context here. This is, yeah, sorry, to get force opinion, but it's down here.
Yeah, that doesn't, that doesn't affect us. My
Sure.
question was, is that this lot, this shows number 9, this lot size was increased. You can see that it's
Yeah.
not proportioned. This
Yeah.
lot size was, I think 65 or 66 feet.
I don't have that off my head, but this is a wider lot.
Right, right, but what I'm saying is that that lot was increased 10 feet, and there was a cushion mentioned too, that was, because this lot right here, once this all starts, I mean, all my privacy is gone.
Sure.
Okay, the side of my yard is gonna be open right up to a road, and then the back of the yard is gonna be opened up to somebody's house in a road that points right into my yard, so, my concern is like maintaining some privacy on top of, some drainage issues that I'm glad you love to walk my yard with me and kind of show you what they're, but that doesn't show that, the 10 feet, and I do have a picture, forgive me. Let me,
Yeah, again, how it was originally approved will be the same. So how it was approved back, what was it, 2 years now, I think? However it was approved, but Rob, I mean, would you be willing to reach out to,
Absolutely, we'll have a conversation.
Yeah, so we'll get all the parties involved, including Tim Masters, and go from there.
Supervisor Roderick, I have one other question to ask.
Sure.
I'm requesting an approval of our PIPs, which we submitted.
Let us do this
So, I don't
first.
know if that has to come
Yeah,
now, okay?
yeah, let us do this first. So we have a motion and a second. Any more questions?
No, I don't think so.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
He's not one of those people. He's basically a bigger side. So he's saying, well, that's what it's doing.
This is basically, however, it was approved the first time.
Just right on the corner, it's not a big area.
But who's gonna hold it?
Imagine, homeowners association.
So it's not, so basically you're asking the first 10 feet of that lot to be made for the group.
We said it's approved the way it was. First time, there was a discrepancy, go back to the original.
That's what he was asking for.
Originally.
Yeah, he just wants it the same way that it was written.
So he understood the 10-foot off.
sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay.
It's pretty important to you.
That's why I'm here.
I know.
It's, yeah, you guys know as well as most of the people in this room, it's a hot issue, this room, so you guys know, this room is packed a few times with regarding the whole issue, so.
I'd like to have your name and.
I would love to grab your card and certainly walk my yard and just, have you guys walk the site?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Donna?
You guys can talk
Donna?
afterwards too.
John, do you have the name and address of the couple
Individual speaking, no.
Well, they'll get it all. And then, Tom, you wanna talk in regards to the PIP?
I would defer to Mr. Lannon on that.
Okay.
Sir, the developer, Mr. Sabrino, has submitted, among other things, 4 separate applications for a public improvement permit, and one is for water, sewer, sanitary sewer, one for storm, and then one for pavement and curbs, okay? I worked with, Mr. Sabrino, we settled on, an amount given the contractor's schedule, okay? And I believe he has deposited all of the required engineering review fees on connection with those permits, but is missing just a couple of items. One is the, copy of the performance bond, okay, which will be provided by the contractor. We do have the whole harmless indemnity agreement signed. We need a detailed schedule, and we need the contractor's insurance. So there are some administrative items that are still outstanding, but the dollars and cents have been settled, at least in that case. So, I believe Mr. Chairman will be asking the board for approval of these this evening. With potentially subject to further review by myself and Attorney Seaman, if that's something the board would like to see.
So you could take a motion to approve the public improvement permits contingent on the developer supplying you, with, you know, the performance bond, the insurance of hold harmless, and all the other customary requirements that the engineer and the attorney will approve. So you could do a contingent on that.
Okay. Rob, you want to add?
Yes, I distributed an email after I met with Donna to hand over the documents, and unfortunately, didn't have a couple of attachments that it should have had. So the contractor's proposal or contract is in the material I gave to Donna, as well as the insurance and the workers' comp and the schedule. We're gonna work out the bonds this week with the contractor. And then we have to supply the approvals to DOH and DC. Those were previously submitted back in 2018 and we're locating the actual approvals.
Well, it sounds like they have supplied quite a bit, but not everything that's required, so you can still make the same motion that all, you know, that it's approved, contingent on all of the customary requirements of a public improvement permit being ultimately submitted, reviewed, and approved by attorney and engineer.
So moved.
Is there a reason? One other point, I don't mean to keep interjecting, but I'd like to also be approved to early start, so we can clear and grub and take advantage of good weather while we're sorting out the other information that.
Let's get through this first. Let's do this first. So we have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just curious, is there a reason to do that from the floor tonight as opposed to formal documentation of the proposal that he's submitting?
He has submitted formal documentation already. He's submitted the application. He's submitted, the engineering review fees, which are a major component of it, which allows you to hire your engineer to make sure that everything he does is done properly. That's really one of the very major components of it. The rest of it is required anyhow. It's already a requirement, so your approval tonight isn't, it's merely, it's in a large way, it is a formality.
On the PIP, could I ask, Tim, the PIP stuff goes through your office, correct?
No,
The
it goes to
fees?
the town clerk's office and then the town engineer.
Oh, so you don't have anything to do with the fees or anything? Okay,
Nope.
it's all set?
Any other questions? That's it. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
We take one moment to thank Mr. Severino for building that Hall Road. It's a big issue, and I know it's expensive, and I recognize that it'd be a lot cheaper ways for you to build and develop, but you want a lot of, good favor, at least from me. It's a big issue with all those
We
people.
weren't around during those public hearings,
Yeah,
and I think we underestimated the will of the neighbors.
Yeah.
So we want to be good neighbors here.
well, it certainly seems like you've succeeded. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. We also like to, an early start to actually start to clear that Hall Road tomorrow.
What do we, Tom, what do we have to do?
I mean, you could approve that if you're just talking about grubbing it.
Clearing, yep.
I think you could approve that because really what they're short on right now is the bonds, and that's gonna be running to the road, the curbing, the sewer lines, and things like that. So clearing and grubbing, you could have probably approved them to clear and grub without the fact that some of these other things haven't been submitted yet being a major issue.
I make that motion, that we approve them clearing and grubbing, because it's not part of the bond issue.
No other construction will take place until all those i's are dotted and t's crossed from the previous motion.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. So, legal, I have a letter here from Tom Seaman, from Seaman Norris. Please be advised that in order to avoid any perceived conflict of interest, I must recuse the law firm of Seaman Norris LLP from advising the town of Lewiston relative to the attached FOIL request. So in regards to that, we have another FOIL request for a video through the police department that we want to. Now, Donna, do you still? Did you reach out to them today to see?
I did reach out to him. I left him a message. He did not return my call, so I don't know.
So we released the town clerk released the video Friday, but we have another FOIL request that asks for a little bit more than that video. So what I would like to do is approve the hiring of Mark Davis, his law firm. I was looking for the email. I forgot to print it out. My apologies. But Mark Davis is with Lewiston and Matthias. Mark's very familiar with the town of Lewiston, as he used to be an attorney for the town. But basically, we would hire Mark Davis as our conflict attorney, and he gave me an engagement letter and everything that I have. Like I said, I can't find it on here, but his rates were pretty much, hold on, here I have it here. If I can read it. So I have an engagement letter. His current rate is $3.25 an hour, but he would be billing the town $250 per hour. It is a small contract. I think we would have spent much time on it. It's just a technicality on whether or not it's an open investigation on the other aspect. So if we need the attorney, I look for a motion to hire Mark Davis. We may not even need an attorney. If the paper gets back to us and doesn't want the extra, we added video.
Move to hire Mark Davis of the firm, whatever, at the rate stated by the supervisor.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Should say for this FOIL.
Well, we may have more, so anything on this particular issue, because it has kind of snowballed. Finance, Jackie?
I don't have anything, thank you.
Okay.
I know, right?
At least he let you talk.
All right.
As presented.
I got it
As
Next.
Councilman Bax.
I have just been handed a resignation of John Pinzani. I'd like to read this out loud. Chief President, please accept this letter of resignation effective July 1, 2020 from the Lewiston Police Department. This has once again been a very difficult decision to make, but I feel that at this time it is best for me and my family. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve as a part-time officer and investigator. My heart and prayers will always be with my brothers and sisters of the Lewiston Police Department. Sincerely, John Pinzani. So I would make a motion to accept with regret Mr. Pinzani's resignation.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Frank, when did John officially retire? Last year or the year before?
2.5 now.
2.5. So John retired from us and then came back in a part-time capacity. So we will still see him in our community. So
Absolutely. Then I have a couple of requests for reimbursement of the sewer portion of the water bill. Mr. Ritter has reviewed both of these and approved them pursuant to our policy. So the first one, I would make a motion to credit the amount of $85.69 to Nancy M. Monago of 4686 Hickory Lane due to a swimming pool liner issue. I so move.
Second.
motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
The second credit is same situation. There was a pool issue, and the credit is for $30.30 to David Easton of 5253 Bronson Drive. And I so move.
Motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
And lastly, Mr. Ritter has provided information to the town board relative to a liquid smoke test that's going to be done on some selected sewers within the town of Lewiston to check for any leaks or infiltration to those. The material safety list has just been provided, and if a resident is going to be impacted by this study, they're going to receive a notice. Mr. Ritter's also provided me with a frequently asked questions sheet that we're asking that the clerk place on the town website. I think this is just an FYI. I don't believe we need any motions or anything for it. So I'll provide this to Don after the meeting.
I just want everybody to be aware that we're going to be putting liquid smoke inside of the sewer, and the smoke will find its way out of any kind of holes or problems with the sewer system. It's totally non-toxic, but it's good to let everybody know. So I asked Donna tomorrow, I'm going to give her some information on the website.
Would you like me to give her this? Also? Okay, fair enough. Thank you. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Councilman Guyton.
Just one item, Jeanette Colasano, our previous senior center coordinator, retired in the spring of 2020. The town immediately contacted Iron County Civil Service towns for our town's options, civil service guidelines, rules, and regulations. Town was required to use civil service list of the top applicants who were on the list for the senior citizens coordinator. Top candidates were surveyed for interest, availability, and understand that they would have to meet the town's residency requirement. Interviews were conducted, references checked, the candidate was selected and agreed to accept the position. COVID-19 pandemic hit, and everything was on hold. Carol Jacobs held down the fort, but could only do so for 90 days as interim director as per civil service. A sincere thank you to Carol Jacobs for all she did during this very difficult and unusual time. The town's new senior citizen coordinator comes with experience with both aging population and government procedures. It is with pleasure that I introduce Melinda Olek as the town of Lewiston supervisor and move to appoint her as a senior citizen. Did I say that wrong?
The town Lewiston supervisor.
No.
Yeah. She wants that job.
Thank you for listening. Appoint Melinda Olek as the town of Lewiston senior citizen coordinator starting July 1st, 2020, at a pay rate of $50,352. I'd like a second to the motion.
Second.
Go ahead, second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Melinda, would you like to stand up?
Please stand up, and so we give you a round of applause. She's had her first experience of sitting through a town of Lewiston meeting, and she will be at the senior center relatively soon, starting to meet with the staff that's there and getting acclimated to the new environment. And we appreciate you coming on board. We appreciate your experience and knowledge.
And I guess if there is a silver lining in all this craziness, Melinda will be able to get in there and start some programming before the seniors are back in the building and talk with everybody and work with the town board to try and get it, the programs bigger and better than ever. And I know Bill has a lot of suggestions and ideas as well, and I know Melinda has some ideas and some suggestions, so that is one plus to be able to go in there and kind of ease into it.
Of course, we're waiting for New York State guidelines as to what we may or may not do. So we can have all great ideas, but until the governor says, open the door, we have to wait, be patient.
Right, and we immediately, one of the first acts this board did was close the senior center for obvious reasons. And I don't think anybody here wanted to have our Lewiston Senior Center as the epicenter of Niagara County for COVID-19. And I think we've done a good job. I'm talking to Carol Jacobs, and I don't want to be misquoted, but she said she's not known one person from the senior center that's gotten sick, so that's a good thing. But welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know it was a long wait, but great to have you. Councilman Jacoby.
I have a couple of things. One is, we ran our Zoom meetings, and then Steve Lyle had read in a statement that he wanted to have recorded, and Donna did put it in the minutes, and it's complete and accurate, but Steve would ask that it be read into the video.
And real quick, my apologies to Steve Lyle. He thought it was gonna be Zoom meeting tonight, so he texted me, that's one of the texts I was reading at 6 o'clock.
Oh.
So he would have been here, so he was disappointed he couldn't make it, so that, there was a.
If there's no objections, I'll read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is from Steve Lyle. The town board has not fulfilled its fiduciary duty and has put a town employee in a difficult position. When the town awarded the $1 million contract to GHD for the waterline expansion project, that was wrong on 2 points. It doesn't matter if you were allowed to do it, being a professional contract not needing bidding. Prudent oversight and good business practices require it. It's outrageous that you wouldn't seek other engineering bids. You bid out copier contracts for a couple $1,000. That was just a terrible mismanagement of Lewiston taxpayer dollars. But far worse is putting the town engineer in a horrible conflict of interest. Whatever his past work, whatever his strengths or familiarity with the town's places, systems, and processes, he is first and foremost a GHD employee. Town engineer, no matter how important it is to the town, is a side gig, and far more important to the town than to GHD. As such, he reports to people who may have an entirely different agenda than saving Lewiston taxpayers' dollars. It's well known these projects make their real money on all the engineering changes and all the engineering dollars required to make those changes. These big jobs can never go as expected due to the unforeseen circumstances. This town engineer has bosses that want to make money, like any business. If you are and you are forcing this contracted town engineer to make very difficult choices every day as the job unfolds. And how will you, the town board, know if he was working for his bosses at GHD or us? The project needs oversight by a competent engineering firm. They are out there, independents or serving other municipalities. Your fiduciary responsibility requires it. The Lewiston taxpayers demand it. Steve Lyle from Lewiston. I would only make the comment that while I'm not sure I agree with a whole lot of the statements in the letter, when I ran for the board, it was one of the things that I thought was important, maybe put some of these things up today, like the engineering services. And I don't mean to imply that I find anything wrong with your performance. In fact, you seem like you're exemplary company doing great work. But I do agree with Steve that a wise and prudent man would say, let's at least check and see if we're getting a good deal. And maybe in the future we'd consider it. And I'm not condemning you in any shape, form, or manner. I think you're, doing good work for the town and haven't shown any evidence of going away with wheelbarrows full of money or anything. Okay, any comments on that? It's uncomfortable for me because I don't like to make it seem like I'm calling undercover. Okay. Like I have that authority. And then the other thing is a more pleasant thing. With the historical committee, we're going through our new, what do we call it?
Seal.
The new seal, yeah. And you'd think it'd be a pretty simple thing, just sketch up the seal. But we're trying to make something nice. And I'm just the liaison, so I don't really have a voice in it. But we do have our town historian here tonight. We're making some progress, right?
We have about 7 of them that we're going to kind of manipulate and put together and try and get a couple of them for the board to say yes or no or any ideas.
Yeah.
So
Let me know when I
we
gotta get
should
my
have
picture
it.
taken. Let me know when I gotta get my picture taken.
Okay, I sure will.
It's a
And it
real
goes
simple
right up
job.
behind you. It goes up behind you, Steve. But I think it's gonna be within a month or 2 that you're going to have something to
take a look at.
take a look at. You're right. Something that is right on.
Good, thank you very much.
Can I get a seal sticker to put on top of this one? And I don't have to buy a new
If you
shirt?
wanna pay for it, you could.
Get a Sharpie and we'll change the dates.
I've wanted to do that for the longest time, but just come in here and change the date, put a escape on there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay.
Councilman Myers, anything?
From the group, so I did want to extend a thank you to the Lewiston Police and also some of our volunteer fire companies for helping out with the graduation parade that we had in Network Field, and just a good way to bring the community together and really help, for all these graduates who are going through this strange, season of life here with COVID and all the graduations, but they're not real well.
There's definitely that. I have one more thing to add. In April, Dave left. No, Dave left. It was like mid-April, we were gonna have a hazardous waste drop-off at the highway garage, and that got canceled. But Niagara County, with the hazman up in Tonawanda, is allowing Niagara County residents to drop off up to 50 pounds of accepted items. They had some exclusion, and then they had some accepted items. It's this flyer here. I don't know, Terry, did you get the flyer? Did you get the information on that?
I've seen it, yeah.
Donna, can we put this on the website? So it'll be a link to rethinkyourwaste.com events, and it'll say Niagara County's on there. You register, and then the only inconvenience is you do have to drive to Tonawanda to take it off. But I think I had 10 gallons, bits and pieces of 10 gallons of paint waiting to go to the highway garage. So, but they are doing that. It says all extra weight and all latex paint is subject to a 75 cents a pound fee. But they are taking other paints.
Do you have to download a form?
No, you just register a time, and then you go there and drop it off.
So I thought there was a form that you had to.
Well, I think you gotta register. I don't know if you get a form or not, because I haven't done it yet. So it's not a specific day that you can do that. So any Niagara County resident, obviously town of Lewiston resident, if you got hazardous waste to get rid of, there's a whole list down there. So
it's not costing the town board any.
It's not costing the town any money. It would only cost you money if you didn't, if some of these were outside of the realm. I don't think if you want to get it done. So, resident statements. Would anybody like to speak? Okay. Upcoming board commission meetings. There's no work session in July. We will have a regular town board meeting on July 27th at 6 p.m. Unless something changes, it will not be a Zoom meeting. Following dates of board, commission, committee meetings are pending. Zoning Board of Appeals is July 9th. Historic Preservation, July 14th. Environmental Commission, July 14th. And Planning Board, July 16th. As long as everything goes smooth, I was on a call today, they expect phase 4 to go in a week. Niagara County has 1 COVID hospitalization, so that's good. Yeah. So I know they got some people in quarantine, things like that, and only 1 that's in a hospital. I think Western New York as a whole has like 50 or under 100. So hopefully we'll be back to normal. Oh, our parks are open. The bathrooms aren't open. The guys are cleaning off the playground equipment as best they can. The only thing I ask is if you bring some children there, you wipe it off as well, because they just can't possibly stay on, every minute, every time a child or somebody touches the playground equipment. No basketball, tennis, I think they said some other, pickleball can be done, things like that. But basketball, hockey, anything like that is not allowed.
But if you're close with a lot of other people, you have to wear the mask.
You gotta wear the mask, you gotta be 6 feet, but, so hopefully with phase 4, we will get more direction. Baseball, July 6th is the date, but we don't have any of the, current guidelines. They said no travel, and from talking to Mike Gashnow today, the only thing we have left in the town that could possibly even do anything is travel. So that may be a no-go as well, so nothing else.
Say again, bathrooms are closed.
Closed right now, yeah. Now, Mike Gashnow has talked to people about renting some of our pavilions, but they would have to follow, right now it's less than 25. So if we were to have anything at any of our pavilions, it'd be less than 25. I believe we talked to Mike about cleaning the bathrooms, opening the bathrooms for a rental, where those people would be responsible for keeping it clean, and then we would clean it and close it when they were done, something along those lines. But it's not etched in stone, that's something we're considering.
Well, I've heard people that have gone for personal services, and they've had to sign their life away to do it. So when I was talking to Steve, we just have to follow the guidelines as close as we can, so that we're not sued.
Right. Well, I know with summer camps, we canceled all our summer camps, but then governor came out and said you can have summer camps, and at first there was no guidance. Well, if you followed all the guidance that they came out with, we would probably spend another $10,000 to $20,000 on summer camps to
Right.
provide it. So it's just gonna be one of those years that COVID and financially, that we're just probably gonna have to take a year off and hopefully come back next year and, get back to some kind of.
Mike Deschanel is working with the town of Porter and Youngstown and the village of Lewiston to have some activities posted online, so that there are some things that people who are looking for some more ideas on what to do with their children. Mike's being proactive and getting some ideas out there.
Yeah, he was talking, I know he was talking about maybe some fishing contests online. You take your kid fishing, you post pictures online, things like that. But I think the paper, it was in the paper that Anjo and Lockport and Cuba and Niagara Falls were gonna proceed with baseball on July 6th.
Really?
Mike told me Cuba has backed off of that now, that they put it on pause. I don't know, Anjo and Lockport, Tom, if you've heard any more on that, but.
I haven't.
That's different, that's a private organization using municipal facilities.
Yes.
There's a different liability there.
Yeah, so, okay. Well, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everybody, for coming, and, hopefully